we really should take a look at the, like kind of top line breaking today was the attack in Washington. There's another attack on the Capitol, which is nuts when you think about it. Let's see. Let me see. So, we had another attack on the Capitol today. Keep in mind the Capitol has been in heightened security ever since the January 6th Insurrection Day. We're going to look at a really interesting story about that a bit later. But today, it wasn't anything. What happened today wasn't anything like Insurrection Day. That was a mass of, Trump supporters waving Trump flags, beating police officers with them, and trying to disrupt the very functions of our democratic republic. But what happened today was a man, it appears, he drove his car into a barrier, killing a Capitol police officer, and that officer. We have his name. I gotta find that. But they also shot him in response, and he is dead as well. So they were both taken to the hospital, or the two officers were taken to the hospital. This one's shooter. So one Capitol police officer was killed, another injured Friday when a vehicle rammed into them near the U.S. Capitol. An attack that once again put the city on edge, as threats stemming from the deadly insurrection in January had started to wane. So let's see. Acting U.S. Capitol Police Chief Yogananda Pittman said a man exited the vehicle with a knife and started lunging. She said at least one police officer opened fire, killing the suspect. It was not immediately clear how the officer, identified as William Billy Evans, an 18-year veteran, was fatally injured. William Billy Evans is his name, an 18-year veteran. The guy's been on the force for 18 years, Capitol Hill, and lost his life on a frickin' Friday, April 2nd, 2021, just a few months after, this historic attack on the Capitol. Several people familiar with the investigation identified the suspect as Noah Green. One of those people said Green has an address in Virginia. So we don't know too much about this guy, but according to authorities, quote, it does not appear to be terrorism related, acting D.C. Police Chief Robert J. Conti III told reporters. But we know how, we got to wait. We got to wait for more information before we're just going to start talking about who this guy. We got to find out more about him. Who is he? What has he done? What's his history? We got to look at his social media, of course, now in this day and age, if he had one, and all of that. Let's see, Niall. I will answer that question, but let me just get through this segment here. That's a good question. So. Here's a video. It's probably going to shoot up an ad. I will mute the audio.
Tonight's matchup.
Oh, look at this guy. It's an ad, everybody. But so I'm just going to let that play while we just kind of talk about this. Chuck Schumer said this, quote, I'm heartbroken for the officer killed today defending our Capitol and for his family. Said Chuck Schumer, I'm praying for the officer injured and his family. We're in their debt. And so, keep in mind, police officer Brian Sicknick died, in connection with the January 6th attack, and now this. And so, let's see. So, sorry guys, you can't even see that. So this is somebody filming from, not the Capitol building, but a nearby building. And you can see this car, there it is, has plowed into the barrier. And so the officers responded by shooting the guy, and an officer died. Valor McConnell in the comments says, not terrorism related equals they aren't Muslim. J. Andrew World says, not terrorism related means he's not brown. Yeah. So there you go. But keep in mind, January 6th is a huge deal. I don't think, Niall, we don't know much more about the driver yet. The driver, it's just, all we know is he had a address in Virginia. What was his name? Noah Green? I don't want to put any fake news. Let me see here. Yeah, so people, everybody was warned to take cover. The Capitol went on lockdown. Noah Green. So let me just do a quick Google search. Maybe we've learned more about him. Um, let's see. Whoa. Let's see. The New York Post is trash. I don't really want to. Suspect in Capitol car attack played football, ran track at Allegheny High School. Huh. It's interesting. This is Noah Green. The man responsible for the death of a Capitol police officer in Washington, D.C. on Friday went into Allegheny High School. Noah Green, who is from Covington, Virginia, played football, ran track at Allegheny High School, according to his personal biography. Green earned all district, all conference, so he was a football player. Spent time at Christopher Newport University, where he played football as a defensive back. What is this reminding me of? There was somebody who hopped a barrier in the Capitol a few years ago, who they were shot by this was a few years ago, but before this was during the Obama years. Let's see. 2013 Capitol shooting. Yes. On October 3rd, 2013, Washington, D.C., Miriam Carey, 34, a dental hygienist from Stamford, Connecticut, attempted to drive through a White House security checkpoint in her black Infiniti G37 coupe, struck a U.S. Secret Service officer, was chased by Secret Service to the Capitol, where she was fatally shot by law enforcement. A child, Carey's daughter, was found unharmed in the car after it was ultimately stopped. Yeah, and so... Yeah, so this is her. So this is what this reminds me of. I don't know. I mean, we got to learn about the motivations. I mean, perhaps there's mental health issues going on. Who knows? Like, what his motivations? They could have been. Extremism. Who? I don't know. This was an interesting case. I remember when this happened. Let's see. So it looks like. Yeah, so this lady had mental health issues. Let's see. She called Stamford police. Carey believed herself to be a prophet of Stamford and insisted that Barack Obama had her house under electronic surveillance. Guys, when I was a newspaper editor, I would get regular letters, not regular, but I would often get letters to the editor that were Obama put a chip in my brain and were just like totally incoherent ramblings. Really unhinged stuff. So people in power, politicians, places like the Capitol are also targets of those who maybe have paranoid delusions and all other kinds of problem. This is why, in my opinion, we need widespread mental health care and coverage in the United States. If you didn't know, we used to have state-run mental health facilities. They weren't fantastic. There's a lot of horror movies based off of them and all of that stuff. But, they were definitely a product of their time, but they were completely erased starting here in California when Ronald Reagan was governor. We're going to get rid of all this state-run mental health care, give me some jelly beans, right? And then he became president, and that was done across the United States. It was called deinstitutionalization. If you want to look at, a lot of homelessness, a certain amount of violence, I've had friends who've lost their mental faculties and have committed violence, and knowing that otherwise, if they were properly medicated, they've never done anything violent before in their lives. So there's all kinds of stuff, that layers and layers of issues that go on to this.